We got to talk about the whole longevity argument that people try to use against LeBron in the GOAT debate. Because if you really think about it, it makes no sense. So I'm watching First Take, and I want y'all to listen to how Stephen A. Smith defines the GOAT argument.
My definition of the GOAT is you at your best against anybody else at their best. What did it equal?
Now, I'm going to stop it right there because what he just described is what is the best player ever, not the greatest. Those are two completely different things. So again, he follows that up by saying Jordan at his best is the greatest that I've ever seen. But Jordan wasn't that good for that long. I can't call somebody the greatest ever if you're not able to sustain that excellence. Now, before we go any further, I had to use Google to make sure I wasn't tripping because I know there's a difference between best and greatest. Let's look right here. Best refers to the highest level of skill or quality within a specific context, while greatest implies a broader measure of accomplishment and impact over a longer period. Now, is that or is that not defining the whole longevity argument that people use against LeBron? I have no problem with someone saying Jordan at his best is better than LeBron at his best. Even though I'll just throw 2018 Bron out there. That dude was a monster. Still, I have no problem with somebody saying that. Every single time Mike got to the peak of his powers, he had to retire. Remember, he retired 3 times. Because every time he maxed out, he was done mentally and physically. He couldn't sustain it. He had to take a break. But with LeBron, no matter what happened, whether he won, whether he lost, he came back the next year even better. For 22 years in a row, no breaks. Something that stuck out to me from the summer was Steve Kerr when he talked about how hard Bron goes in practice. This is somebody that coached Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, but he sees 39-year-old at the time LeBron James in practice, and he's like, I can't believe he goes this hard every day. Today on First Take, this was the topic. Is this LeBron's most impressive season of his career? He is 40 years old, and the question is this the best he's ever been? So I don't understand when people see this number and they're like, oh, it's just because he played for so long. Nobody else could play that good for this long. That's the whole point of it. That's why he's the greatest. If you look at the record books at the end of his career and he's at the top of everything, like if you're great at something for 22, probably longer, we'll see how much longer he played for at least 22 years. And the next best person was only great for 13, 14. And honestly, it's really 13. Those last 2 years, he was not great. 22 great years versus 13 great years. It's really not even an argument. Remember, this is not him just being great at 40. He's literally top 3 in the MVP voting right now. Stephen A. himself said at 40 years old, LeBron is in better shape than 98, maybe even 99% of the league. But you want me to believe that the person who retired 3 times because he couldn't do it no more is greater? I don't care if you want to say his best was better than LeBron's best, but there's no way you could say he's greater.